I'm joined in studio by Lauren Bakken from Bakken CPA. Hi, Lauren. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell me about Bakken CPA.
Well, Bakken CPA is an accounting firm down on the waterfront in beautiful Plymouth, and we help small businesses and individuals with their accounting, bookkeeping, tax returns, tax planning, and we try to take a proactive approach to helping these folks so that they don't get stuck with a big tax bill at tax time. We try to plan so that we can take that proactive approach.
Well, you know, taxes and accounting are not the most exciting topics. I'm sure you know that. But they actually are exciting because, you know, for small businesses, it can be very daunting to keep on top of that kind of thing.
Right.
So what might be something what is a typical problem that small business owners have? Or when someone starts a small business, what are they surprised to learn?
Well, the most difficult thing is that when a small business goes into business, they do what they do well. And then they get busy. And they lose track of their accounting, their books, what their bottom line is. Because for one, they don't want to do it. And for two, they're just too busy. So, of course, the thing they like the least is the last thing to get done.
The bottom of the list. I'm going to get to that eventually, the night before it's due.
Right. So that's a challenge. We try to educate our clients that this is something that you need to do, and if you don't have the time to do it, that's the first thing that gets outsourced, and that's where we come in. So we sit with the client to figure out what it is that what piece of it they can do, what piece of it we can do, and we formulate a plan so that we can help them in the best way for them.
So just so I'm clear on this and our viewers are clear, it sounds like there's a certain degree of customization in the services that are provided based on the client need.
Correct. Yes,
that's really
what
interesting.
We try
so
to
you're
do.
Not cookie cutter.
We are not. We sit with them, hear what they have to say. We hear what keeps them up at night. And then from that, we craft what we think is the best solution for them. And then we come up with an idea and a plan to help them.
So you must have a staff that is not just you. I mean, you must have different types of people, you know, because you don't need a CPA necessarily to do your bookkeeping.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So we have a bookkeeper. We have a staff accountant, and the bookkeeper does the bookkeeping part of it, but I work closely with my staff accountant to formulate that plan, and we keep on top of it. So there's a lot of client education there to teach the client how to do what needs to get done, what is important, what they should be thinking about, and sometimes they have to change the way they were doing things. So we just kind of hold their hand and take them on that journey that gets them to a better organized place.
It's a win-win.
It is.
So they're not dreading April 15th
yes.
or because it's interesting, if they wanted to really be an accountant, they would be an accountant.
Right. And not a lot of people want to do that.
Not many people.
But we love it.
That's right.
And that's a good thing. That's why we have a job.
Yeah. Well, we have a pre-programmed questionnaire that we ask every guest to fill out. And I think one of the things that you said is that your company exists to give small businesses access to the same accounting services as big businesses. Am I mangling it, or?
That's right. Small business access to big business accounting.
Okay.
So what that means is a small business usually gets pushed off by the bigger firms, and they don't want to take care of them. And small businesses need a little more hand-holding and all of that. So that's where we come in. We are the ones that want to take care of the small businesses because they're the backbone of America, and they need the most
in America's
help.
Hometown.
Exactly. Yes.
So how did you pick that? It's really a niche, right? I mean, it really is. It's a very niche-y. It's a small business. Is your focus, your professional focus. How did you pick that?
It is. Well, I picked that because when I worked at the previous firm that I worked at, I saw the clients come in. I was able to work with them from, as I call it, paper bag to financial statement, and everything in between. And you could see that this firm wanted to push off those ones that were so needy. And I'm like, but they need help too.
Yeah.
Even more so than the bigger firms that might have a CEO or a CFO, helping them with that.
And so you're a really smart entrepreneur, so you said, aha, there's a need that's not being met.
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember at some point we were at some mixer or something, we were talking about, what's the equivalent of a horror story in your, in your profession. So, as a business coach and consultant, I've got a laundry list, but one of the ones that I remember was the Kleenex box.
Okay,
would you mind sharing that?
Absolutely. It's kind of funny. We could write a book with all the different things.
I think you should actually.
Yes. So this was a client a subcontractor who hadn't done tax returns in quite a few years. But he was very organized. He would take all his receipts and actually put it in one of those square tissue boxes. And he had 10 years worth of tissue boxes.
I love that.
He even labeled them.
They were labeled.
They were labeled. And so he just brought them all in to us, and we actually had to go through all the receipts and put them all together in order to formulate his tax return.
Luckily, he labeled them, because otherwise someone might have thrown it out figuring it was
Just
out of
junk.
Yeah, it was out of tissue.
I know.
So it was an interesting juxtaposition of actually being very organized.
Yeah.
Just in a different way.
I've never seen them in tissue boxes. That was the
That's
first.
fabulous.
Usually it's the paper bag or, a folder or whatever, but these were all smashed into a tissue box.
We are all odd in different ways, don't you think?
I know. That was funny.
My gosh.
Hey, we did it. We got it all together. We got them organized. We got them up to date. And
happy ending.
Happy ending. We'll probably get a tissue box every year, but at least it'll only be one tissue box.
Maybe a quarterly tissue box. Thanks so much for coming by,
You're
Lauren.
welcome. It's fun.